Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, and for this video I'm going to ask question, and this is my first Q&A video. So I posted in my IG story to ask some questions, then I will answer it through this video. So it's been a long time since I made my last video. I think that was 35 days ago. It's more than a month now because I'm too busy with my work from home, and of course aside from that there's some travel restrictions and some border restrictions, and it's hard for me to travel to some other cities here in the Philippines because you need a lot of documents in order for you to travel. So I decided to make this video, at least you know a little bit about me in terms of my likes, in terms of my dislikes, and of course some information about traveling and transportation. And by the way, I miss saying this one, so before I start with my video, if you're new to my channel, please subscribe to my channel, click the bell button for notification. If you have comments, suggestions, or recommendations, you may write them in the comment section below. Let's start. So I already scanning my notifications in Instagram, so this one. So the questions are just here and I will answer it one by one. So this is now my first question. So what is your college major? So I graduated with a degree of civil engineering. So I studied civil engineering for 5 years in one of the universities in the Philippines, in southern Philippines, particularly in Mindanao. Why do you like Indonesian trains? So ever since when I was a kid, I already liked trains. My mother bought me a train toy and I like it. And that Indonesian train is my first intercity train here in Southeast Asia. It's really comfortable and it makes you relax while you're riding the train. So my first train ride was Argo Parayangan from Jakarta Gambir to Bandung. I like Indonesian trains also because it has so many classes that you can choose into. Like you can have the economy class, you can have the business class, you can have the executive, and you can have the premium economy. Then lastly, you have the luxury class. All of the classes are already tried in Indonesia, and it feels so good to be in a train because you can meditate. You can think of your future plans while seeing those beautiful views outside. Then they have this train attendant that are so friendly, so welcoming, and that's it. So that's why I love Indonesian trains. I want to accompany you traveling around Indonesia. Oh sure, why not? So I like traveling in Indonesia with some friends. I usually do that. I meet a lot of friends in Indonesia, then if we have time we could travel together. So that would be a good idea. So mention what you hate about the countries you visited. So I visited Thailand, Singapore, Malaysia, and Indonesia. In Thailand, I think one thing that I don't like in Thailand is the weather because it's too hot. It's so hot and humid. In Malaysia, it's also the same. It's so hot because we all know that we are in Southeast Asia. We are in a tropical region, so that's why it's hot. And also in Malaysia, maybe some other food, some Middle Eastern foods, because I'm not used to it. I like Malay food, but other than that, at some point I cannot take it because the taste is very strong, the aroma is very strong. Meanwhile, in Singapore, it's a nice country. So undeniably, it's a nice country. It's a first world country. The one thing that I hate about Singapore is the cost because it is very expensive. Next, Indonesia. I think Indonesia is also hot. It's like Manila. At some point, it's chaotic. It's dense, but I don't usually think of that. I don't usually feel that one because I already experienced those not so good things. In the Philippines, we also have like that. I also experienced some chaotic situations, some messy situations, and the only thing that I don't like about Indonesia, particularly in Jakarta, is the flooding. Because in my place here in southern Mindanao, we don't have flood. Even it will rain for 1 week, so we will not experience flooding because I am living in a hilly, like in a mountainous part of my place, and I'm not used to that. So that's why when I experienced that in Jakarta during the New Year's Day, I'm quite disappointed and depressed that time because my plan really changed. So which city, country impresses you the most? Even except from the Philippines. So even though Indonesia is not that progressive with as compared to Malaysia and Singapore, I think I am so impressed in that country because of its nature. Java Island is so beautiful, and you can see a lot of tourist attractions in there. So that's the main thing that I like about Indonesia. When you ride a train and you see the view outside, it's very nice, it's very relaxing. And I think it is not only limited in Java. When you, according to them, when you go to Sumatra or Sulawesi and of course Bali, you can see more about Indonesia. You can see its diversity. So aside from those views, I really appreciate the people. They are very friendly, they are very welcoming, and I think that's the important asset of Indonesia, the people. So what do you think about the new mask paint on Garuda Indonesia? So I saw that in Instagram. So Garuda has this new livery, and it has a mask at the front part of the aircraft. So that aircraft is, I think, A330 or Airbus A330 Neo, and it's kinda unique. I never thought an airline would come up with that kind of vision to put a mask in front of the aircraft, and that's a good thing because it always reminds the people to wear masks all the time because of this pandemic. A good job to Garuda Indonesia for conceptualizing that idea that you will put some mask as a new livery for that Airbus A330 Neo. It's very catching, it's very unique idea. So only Garuda Indonesia did that thing. So you cannot see that in some other aircrafts or airlines around the world. So after pandemic, what's the first place do you want to visit? By the way, would you like to visit Makassar? So maybe after pandemic, I will go to, of course, I will go to Manila to see some developments there because during the pandemic season, during this season, Manila is booming in terms of the infrastructure. And after that, I am thinking to go to Bali, Indonesia because I haven't been to Bali. And of course, I also want to explore Sulawesi like Manado because as an information of everybody, Manado is so near to my place here in Mindanao. So it is just a 1-hour flight from Davao to Manado. So I want to explore that other side of Indonesia and see its uniqueness as compared to other regions in Indonesia. I believe that Manado is quite different because most of its people are Christians. When you compare that to Java, where most of the people are Muslim. What are your activities during the quarantine? So during the first part of the quarantine, since we don't have work yet and we already stopped working, so I just did cooking, and after that resting, just staying at home, not going out. So after that, when we are required to work again but only work from home, I do some online classes. So I think that's the usual activity that I do every day, and I'm just working from home, so I decided to do biking because I don't have exercise anymore. After doing some online classes, I just lay on my bed and it is not healthy. So I'm already worrying about myself, so I decided to bought a bicycle, then do biking after I finish with my online classes. So those are just my usual activities during these quarantine days. Can you cook culinary? Yeah, I can cook some food as long as I have the ingredients and I have the instructions, because sometimes it's hard to cook when you don't have the exact ingredients. Like say for example, you want to cook an Indonesian food and they have this kind of herbs or ingredients that I cannot see here in the Philippines. So that's the hardest part of cooking. How can you manage the money for traveling? How much do you usually spend? So of course, if you want to travel, you need to spend a lot of money. But sometimes you just don't want to spend money as just like that. So you need to do some budgeting, you need to do some researching. Say for example, if you want to book a flight, you need to open a lot of websites just to compare the prices of the airlines and the flights itself. So that's very important. In Indonesia, for example, 1 week, I just budget like 1.3 million rupiah for my expenses, like the food, the transportation, because usually I already book my accommodations ahead of time. But it doesn't mean that my money is just only 1.3 million rupiah for that 1 week. I also have reserve just for in case, because sometimes if you really buy a lot of things like souvenirs, like for me, I usually buy batik in Indonesia, and some batiks are very expensive, so I really need to reserve some money. So I think the most important thing is just budgeting and planning, and you need to make your itinerary with those expenses. So when will you start making video again? So actually I already starting making video now. I decided to start now because it's been a month already that I have no uploaded video in my YouTube channel. So I hope this pandemic will end sooner so that we could go back to our normal life. Train or bus? Train or bus? Most of the time I experience bus, seldom on trains. But trains always amazes me. I like its system. I like how the wheels will just run in the rail tracks. So it really amazes me. Are you single or taken? So of course I'm single. Yeah, I'm happy to be single, but I am not closing my heart. I'm not closing my heart for some possibilities. So I'm still looking forward to have a special someone one day. Who inspired you to make traveling vlog? So since I like watching videos in YouTube, I like watching travel vlogs. Those travel vloggers really inspires me to make some videos. And when I went to Indonesia, I also discovered some travel vloggers. Before Indonesia, I already discovered some Indonesian transportation vloggers like Ikwan and Ramat Dani. They are my first inspiration to do flight reviews because I like the way they do flight reviews even though they speak in Bahasa and I cannot simply understand what they are saying, but at some point I can get the whole context of what they are doing and what they are saying. And after that, when I already ride an Argo Parayangan train in Indonesia, I discovered some transportation vloggers exclusively for trains like Risang, like Urja, like Andreawan. So they are also my inspiration to do this train reviews, train trip reviews, and some other transportation reviews. And aside from those people, I also admire Sam Chui. And also here in the Philippines, we also have travel bloggers like Mitch Yang. And the same with Sam Chui, I also watch his videos and get some ideas how to do the vlogging from the start up to the end and how to do the flight reviews. So those are my inspirations in making transportation videos. If you could turn back time, what time would it be and why? Of course, when I was a child, like in elementary, I like that time because I have no problems. I have no bills to consider. I just want to play. I just want to be happy. I just want to eat. And unlike now, you are more mature. You have so many responsibilities. You need to pay a lot of bills. And I think that's the hardest thing if you are an adult as compared to if you are just a child, a little boy. You don't have any problem. So if I could turn back time, I would like to experience my childhood again. Choose one, Irja or Andreawan. So I know who asked these questions. It's quite a hard question because I need to select between Irja and Andreawan. I think it's not important to select whether to select either which person or which vlogger is good, because both of them are good in their own ways, and they do good in vlogging, especially in transportation vlogging. They are so natural, they are so informative. As I said earlier, they are also my inspirations to do this transportation vlogging. Actually, vlogging is not all about energy, it's not all about joking, cracking some jokes. Vlogging is not just all about like that, because vlogging is just like about relaying some informations to your viewers. As long as you have the content and the viewers can relate to your content, they will watch your videos again and again and again. And I think I will make another content like this question and answer video in the near future. So I hope you learned something from this, and again, if you're new to my channel, please subscribe to my channel. Click the bell button for notification. If you have comments, suggestions, or recommendations, you may write it in the comment section below. So see you in my next video. Bye bye!